Welcome to Photo 72, Lightroom and Photographic Design, and today is Module 02, moving forward with Lightroom and Sketching to See. And welcome all the people in the chat room and the people who will watch us later online, and the people who are here. So it's really, this is like juggling, and hopefully don't drop the ball. A lot of things happening this week. I've seen some great stuff in the chat room. So I'm going to share my desktop, and we're going to go to the Etudes classroom. Easy to use distance education system. Let's hope it's a true statement for all of us. That's what it stands for, Etudes. No, I'm not. I'm not kidding. What do you things that happen when you know the history of things? Easy to lose. No. So, reminder, as you look at this, on your left-hand side, we have the, make sure this is going to work today. Oh, you don't need a computer today. No. Okay, so on this side here, you can see the parts of the class. Hopefully that looks good. And particularly notice for all of you, Course Map. I think Course Map is one of the places that you'll find quite useful for maneuvering around the classroom. So when we get a Course Map, because right now I'm in as Annie student, my student ID. That's right. You will see where you're going to do, what you're going to do, and in what order you should be doing it. And so I really want to encourage you to start out at Course Map and work your way down. You can't do anything until you've done the syllabus, which everyone here and most of the people online have already done. And you just work your way down. Someone did have a question about some timing. Sometimes the assignment is due, and I'm trying to be real thoughtful about this, one date, and the discussion may be opened longer. Because you can get, and especially the online students, can get points for discussion that's separate from the points for the assignment. So for example, the time and light module, you have to turn in your time and light slideshow in the assignments, but I will leave the discussion open longer, and I don't know if that's obvious, so you can talk about it longer. And that's so, but if you see something that doesn't look right, shoot me an email or a private message, and I will consider whether it was a wise decision or what I did wrong, or if I maybe just messed up dates. I might be in a different millennium or something like that. Okay. I will mention the field trips. There is a link now in one of your messages about the field trips that I'm doing. For those of you that are local, you're welcome to join on any or all of the field trips. There is a form here, a permission form that you should give to me, and there's a place to put it if you're online, or bring it to me physically if you're in the on-campus class. And certainly I'm very, very excited about tomorrow. My advanced photography class, Photographic Portfolio, is doing their first show. It will be at the KCI, where we are right now, on the lower level, the gallery. It's gorgeous, incredible. Jason's one of the artists in that show. And it's going to, I hope you all come. There'll be food. There'll be food. It's at 5 to 8. 5 to 8 downstairs at the KCI, right in this building. Oh, that's right. And tomorrow there is an opportunity which we put out, I think, on the you put it in Etudes, right? Oh, and you didn't. We announced it in class, but maybe you can pop it on Etudes if you still need photographers. Tomorrow is Earth Justice Day on Foothill College. Many events happening, and the coordinator is here. So if you'd like to photograph, you can contact her. So this is the card for the In Focus show, and you can come here and see some of the work. It's a slideshow of the work of some of the artists. And this, in fact, is Jason who's here. Work. So it's going to be a great show. This is the final class that people take to get their AA or certificate in photography at Foothill College. It's a 2-quarter-long class, 6 months. The first quarter we make a portfolio. Second quarter they have to do exhibitions, competitions, events, and all kinds of things. So it's a real special class. I hope some of you will join us. Other field trips I might mention, there is Open Studios happening in May. And also, I'm going to do a night photography evening. This is particularly geared to the introductory Photo 5 students, but all of you would be welcome to join in. It's from 7 to 10 on May 7th, Tuesday, May 7th. And we go to the studio, we paint with light, we draw with flashlights, we wander campus, we can take pictures of the fountains as long as you promise not to get run over by a car. It's a really great night. We have a lot of fun. And I'll show some pictures later or in of that. Okay. Some other events that are happening are here. Please read them, and you are welcome to join in. Okay. Going back to where you go next is the modules, and you'll see that we're moving forward with Lightroom and module 02, which is right here. There are 4 ways to participate. You can be here. Some of you are here. You can listen to me right now on CCC Confer, or you can watch, and if you, those of you that would like to review what we do today, you can watch it in CCC Confer again. And also the slideshows I show are linked right here on this page. Okay. I'm going to ask real quickly for the people who are present here in the class or in the chat room, are there any questions that people need answered right now? Anything that people are thinking about? Okay, everything okay? Anything in the chat room? Okay, then we'll move forward with Lightroom, as it were. So I thought we would start with something. Most of you have brought pictures in. Most of you have made a basic catalog. If I had one question in the discussion and in private messages notes, it's like, how am I going to have all these different catalogs? Where am I? What's my plan for this? And I think that, and what I've encouraged people to do is relax. Take some time, get used to working with our small catalog that we're using for the class. So, will be a few hundred pictures, and sort of get the bigger picture of the workflow. Then, nearer in a few weeks, we can really talk about, do you want your main catalog on your home desktop computer? Do you want it on a removable hard drive? Why does that work for your workflow? What is the best thing that's going to be for the way that you like to work? But I think a really important question is, where are my pictures and what about virtual copies? Because when you have an image in Lightroom, you want to know, where is this picture really? What I'm seeing is a preview. It is not the real picture. And as you mentioned, I've had people who have taken the class and said, I'm all great. I brought all my pictures in Lightroom and deleted them off my hard drive. And I'm like, no, don't do that. Because your pictures are your pictures. All Lightroom is a reference to your pictures. It's like a card in a card catalog. So if you, in the old days, in the library, I can still use that reference for at least another week, right? If I right-click on a picture, and I can click to show it in the Finder, and I can see the picture in the Finder. So we're actually going to go over to Lightroom right now and do this. Go to Grid, and you'll see my fun little birds from the Sulphur Creek Nature Center. I don't know if anyone here has gone there with me. It's a fabulous, wonderful, oh yes, someone's gone. It's in Hayward. The Sulphur Creek Nature Center is in Hayward. It's an animal rescue. And Oliver Clinton and I do workshops there to photograph the incredible, wonderful animals. This is actually a trip we went to do some photography for them. So when I either right-click or control-click on the Mac, I'll get this contextual menu. And to this picture, I can say Show in Finder. I can also go to the folder in the library, or I can go to any collection that this picture is in and see what collections it's in. But right now, I'm just going to go Show in Finder. So now all of a sudden it pops up, and here is exactly where that picture is living in my Finder. You can see there is that picture in my Finder. Very, very useful because you need to sometimes go and find it in the Finder. Also to realize, have that real clear idea that in Lightroom you have this reference. On your Finder you have a real picture, and you need to go back and forth between the two of them. Sorry. Okay, so the question is, if you had 2 hard drives and you maybe had duplicate pictures in your catalog, each picture can only refer, each reference in Lightroom can only refer to one picture. But if those aren't duplicate pictures, those are 2 pictures. They may be the same image, they may be the same size, but they're 2 files. So each reference in Lightroom is very specific to the individual file that you're referring to. So it would find the one that you are looking for. Exactly, exactly. So here's the image in Finder. So when I click and show in Finder, I see the photo in the Finder window. So we want to think about what would happen if I change this photograph in Lightroom. What's going to happen to that original picture? And this is one way to really put it in your mind what it is that you're doing to your pictures. So I'm going to use this also to talk about how to make a virtual copy. A virtual copy is another instance in Lightroom of your image. So it lives next to your original image reference. So we're going back to Lightroom. I'm going to come to this picture, and I'm going to go up to it is, that's an interesting, is it a pointer or a duplication? It's another card in the card catalog, I guess, in a way. Only it's a card, so now we start to get into other metaphors. Because it's another story about that picture. So you can have a totally different story go on a virtual copy. So I'm going to make a virtual copy. You can see it right here, Photo, Create Virtual Copy, or Command apostrophe. And now I have 2 of this picture. In Lightroom. Now on the desktop there's only one. There's still one file. This file is 6898. This is 6898, and because I made virtual copies of this picture before, this is 6898, and that's copy 2. Okay, so let me do this again. Great. Choose one that's never had a virtual copy of it. That's horrible. I don't like that picture. Oh no. I'll go this one. Okay. So Command apostrophe. So now I have, as you can see right here, there's the original 6902, and there's the copy 1. Can people see that? Oops, I don't want to do this here. That's what I want to do, right there. Okay, so there's copy 1. That's what copy 1 will say. That's what the original will say. So that's my original file. That's copy 1. I'm going to take my original one into Develop. Or not, excuse me, I'm going to take copy 1 into Develop. And I'm just going to add, so you can really see it's different, I'm going to do a little black and white to it. And for fun, so it really looks different, I'm going to come here and give it some color. So we can really clearly see that these two pictures look wrong, look quite different, right? There's copy one, there's my original reference, so they look quite different. If I now take this file and go and say show, show in Finder, do you see it? How's it look? It looks like the original. Even though I've made all those changes in Lightroom, nothing has happened to the original file. Nothing will happen. Those changes will not be written until I output the image. Either output it in a slideshow, a print, or export it, which we'll talk about later. Yeah. I'm not going to repeat that but I'll say yes to you, and then we won't think about that because we don't want to sort of confuse the two different pathways. But it is a second story about your picture. Can I make a third story? I can make as many stories as I want. So say I have one slideshow where I'm going to use the color images. I have another, I'm going to do a set of cards in this lovely, beautiful green sepia tone thing that I made, right? I could come back here again, make another virtual copy, and then I can go to my develop and see. Since we haven't talked about presets, I'm going to just throw something crazy in here. I don't want black and white presets. Do cross processing. So yeah, I don't even think I can work with these. Sorry. Oh. Okay, this is better. Do you like that one? Have an aged photo. Well, that's nicer. Doesn't look that different from what I've done. So these are presets that come with Lightroom. So yeah, I can do that too. That'll really make a difference. So I'll go to Effects. I'm just throwing things at you guys and do, okay. So now we have our 3 copies. We have our copy, and you can see right here. Right here. This is our original reference. This is copy 1, and here's copy 2. 3 very different stories about the picture in Lightroom. 3 different ways that we could go with this picture. Of your views, if you remember when we talked about views, we have grid view, G. We have loop view, L. Oh no, not L. E for loop. Loop. If I do L, I get my lights out. Okay. We have C for compare. So you just get 2 of them at a time. And then we have N for survey. N for survey. They just used up all the letters. They had to do something. So here we see it. There's the original photo reference. This is the virtual copy, which is currently active. Can you see the white border around it? That means it's active. And here it says copy 1. So here's the virtual copy in black and white. Notice a couple things about this slide. First, notice the history. History, as I said before, is one of the powers of Lightroom. Because in history, you keep the history. How many people here have worked in Photoshop? Okay, so probably about most of the class has worked in Photoshop. What happens to history in Photoshop? It goes away. That's not how Lightroom works. With Lightroom, the history is always here and stays. The only thing you have to watch with history is that it's linear. So if you were to go back in history, time travel, you'll go forward in a new way. That's one thing to remember. Yeah. Yeah, and we'll next week we'll talk about snapshots and virtual copies and when to use a snapshot and when to use a virtual copy. They're actually the same thing. Yeah, exactly. But we're not going to talk about that today. I have enough on my plate. Okay. And you see, I also just point out in this slide the button of where to make it black and white, or one of the ways to make it black and white in Lightroom. And we'll talk a lot more about making pictures black and white in Lightroom later. So now we're looking at the black and white in the folder. This is doing what I did in person. We're going to go show in Finder. And again, we'll see it in the Finder. The picture in the Finder is unchanged. The virtual copy is black and white sepia, and the original copy is still the same. It's an important idea. Photos and catalogs. Remember that your photographs are in one place and your catalogs are in another place. And that's pretty important because this all goes back to the idea that you have to back up both. You have to back up your catalog and you have to back up your pictures. And by backing up your catalog, you don't back up your pictures, and by backing up your pictures, you're not backing up the catalog. The catalog file in Lightroom is LRCAT. That is the core catalog that you must preserve to keep all the work you've done safe. That catalog is the thing that gets backed up. And if you remember when we talked, we'll talk about it in a second. So this catalog, Lightroom Demo LRIT, is sitting here in this folder. This photograph is in this other photo, for me, I do them by days, 2013-03-27. So each of those things are sitting in different places. And in fact, you can see, if you look down here, it's on my hard drive, in my pictures, in a folder called 2013. You can't read it because it's blurry. 2013. Okay. Okay. So the question is, you're working at home. You have your catalog on your hard drive, your home computer, your desktop at home. What are you going to do? Then you're going to need to export that catalog onto the hard drive is what I would recommend. Or export a portion of that catalog enough to bring in here to work. For people who are coming to work on campus, I recommend that you have a class catalog on a removable drive that you carry around with you for the length of this class. It's a lot easier than going back and forth right now. But we will learn how to both export catalogs, import catalogs, synchronize catalogs. What's the word? Later. I can't learn it all today. As much as I would like to, open your heads and pour all the information in, we have to take things like 3 steps at a time, not 12. Yes, Richard. Okay, the question is, because many of you know that Lightroom 4 will only run on certain catalogs. It depends on where you're. Yeah, the operating system will be your barrier. I would not do any processing in the field if you're not working on the most recent version of Lightroom. What I would do is just use it to download the cards and make backups and then do your processing when you get home. We can talk about it and where it will work and where it won't on a one-to-one when we're doing lab time is what I would recommend. And anyone who's online who has that question, that we talk more directly, because it's such an individual problem. It depends on your computer and your work style and what you want to do with your pictures. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Okay. So we're going to get back to Lightroom and how to use Lightroom. Actually, yes, is that better? So you're going to back up your pictures. You're going to back up your catalog. Now we're back in Lightroom, and we want to talk about view options, because this is the place you're going to spend your most time, is in editing in Lightroom. And what you can see will make a huge difference in what you do and how you work with your catalog. So you can see right here, I am in grid mode. I have a little grid of pictures. And I have a top label, a color label, a bottom label. And in this case, I'm going to hit a J to cycle through the grids. So there is an expanded cell, compact cell 1, compact cell 2. So catch again. And notice what's in each file. Expanded, compact, and compact. If you want to change this, and I'll do both of them. Here's the loop view. Same thing with loop view. You can hit an I like an ice, and you can go through different labeling options in your loop view. So let's get a loop view. No words. Name of the file, date, time it was taken, pixel dimension, the shutter speed, f-stop, and focal length of the lens. So for either of these, I'm going to come up to View, View Options, and you can see I have compact cell or I have expanded cells. I can go down, and let's move this a little bit out of the way right there. And what you're going to see is that right now I have a green cast around the picture because this picture has been chosen with green. And that's we'll talk about starring and sorting and all that stuff in a minute. I can turn that off so it's not green around it, and you just have a little green button on the bottom. I can have image info tooltips on or off. I can have flags. Do I have any flags here? I thought I had a flag here. Okay, let's go back here. Can you go back here? And I'll give you a flag so you can see the flag go on and off. Okay. All right. Flags, you can see where the flags are. Thumbnail badges. Unsaved metadata, quick collection markers, all those things you can turn on and off. In the compact cell, you can have a top label. You can have your top label can be a file name, extension, whatever you want from all of the options in the metadata. So you can really customize this. You can have the bottom label with all kinds of choices. In the expanded cell, you can see how much you can, here's the default. I think I'm at the default. Oh, no, I'm not. Oh, interesting. I was way off the defaults. There's the default. Index number, crop dimension, copy name, or file and file extension. So that's what it would look like at the default, which I find almost totally useless. Well, not totally useless, but I definitely don't care about the index number. So I usually have the file name, and I have the file name there. And then over here, I like having the no, it's just the order that it's sitting in the box. I don't know. It's not something that I tend to use. I have to try it. I don't use index numbers, so I can't tell you. We'll have to try that. And I tend to put the exposure bias over there. And so you can fine tune this to whatever you want. and show rating footer, don't show rating footer, include color labels, don't include color rating, include index, don't. So you have lots of options here to fine tune how your image gets seen. Same with loop view. Anything that is in the metadata you can choose. So here ICE, I is in ICE, information about the file. And then in grid view, J is in jump. You can see the different things. So you can see how if you were going through pictures with somebody, you might want it to look like that. You want to take away all your information and just have them look at it. And then you can, if you needed to access it, you hit a J and you see it. In the options view, right. So compact cell extras are that when the cells are like this, it determines what will be seen or not seen as you, like that and that. And then this is expanded cells. Right, and which information you've chosen to have in there. So you get to fine tune it. So play with those buttons to see what it is that are going to happen. If this is something that you need more help, what I've just done, I actually made a little YouTube movie. No, it's on Vimeo. This is a Vimeo movie today that you can watch that will go through the same things I just did. So that's one way to quickly go and review the whole concept of the views. But when you think about what you're going to use Lightroom for and the fact that you can customize it for all different features is very, very powerful, very useful. Another question about views, okay? Can you have different views for different catalogs? You know, that's interesting. You can always change them whether they follow the catalog, or I think they follow your Lightroom in your computer. So like if I open it's a program level thing. I'm pretty sure. I'll check it, and if I find out it's different, I'll let you know. But your choice of interface is program level, meaning it sticks with this computer. And that's one thing about having your catalog on a disk drive, is that when you take that drive, when I take my hard drive to a different computer, some of my preferences that are program-based are going to go away. You know, they're not going to be there. Let me check and see if everyone can hear okay in the chat room. Thanks, Steve. Reminding people online that you can talk to Steve on the chat room and type to him, and he will share your questions with me. And if you have any problems with the sound, please let him know in the chat room. Okay, so we're going to talk about preferences, and we can play with this a bit. This is my preference right now, that I have my prompt me when starting Lightroom to ask me what catalog I want to use, and show import dialog when memory card is detected. So when I put in my memory card for my pictures, Lightroom will automatically go to import. Just a convenience, not necessary, if it's not set, it's no crisis, but it's a nice little piece. So this has to do with having more than one catalog. So you can see it in my situation here. And you might want to have load most recent catalog set, because most of you will have one catalog for now, and that's the catalog you're going to be working on most of the time. If you have load most recent catalog, you won't get stopped by a question. You can just go right through to working. In my situation, these were all the catalogs that I had opened and closed in the last little bit, and you can see how I have different catalogs running for different projects and different things. Let's go to that in Lightroom, reminding you that in Macintosh it's under Lightroom Preferences. On PC it'll be under File, and on the bottom of the File menu, it will be Preferences, but still Preferences. So here's Prompt Me and Load Most Recent. Your choice on that. For most of you, I'd say Load Most Recent is going to be the logical choice. For me, where I'm working with many different catalogs for my classwork and my own work, I have it Prompt Me. And then Show Import Dialog when memory card is detected. From here, we can go to the catalog settings. And I'm going to come here. And in the catalog settings, this is what I recommend you have set, which is to back up the catalog every time Lightroom exits. What this will do is it will at least stop you and ask you, do you want to back up? And if you do, then you can back up. If you don't want to back up, then you can choose not to. You'll also notice that this is where this particular catalog is being backed up. So I can say Show, and it will show me my backups. Here's Lightroom Demo. Here are my backups. There's my catalog. This little button, Show, in the catalog settings. Okay. When it stops me to back up, it will give me a chance to change that location. It doesn't let me change it here, which is interesting, but it does when I go to back up. It will say, this is where I'm going to back up, and I have a chance to change it at that moment. I'll do that in a second so you can actually see it happen. Your other options are never, once a month, once a week, once a day, every time, or when Lightroom next exits. I don't know. I think I wouldn't want to lose a month of work, would you? You know, Lightroom catalogs do go bad. You could certainly have an argument for once a day, depending on how you work, but it's not that big a deal to tell it yes or no and to have it remind you each time. If you were someone who didn't do backups often, you could have it so just the next time. It wouldn't remind you again and again and again. Just when you closed it, it would back it up at that moment. But it wouldn't be an ongoing request. Yes, you do. You have to launch Lightroom and close it to have it happen. But if you've backed up already today, it won't bug you for it again. You won't, no. So if you had it once a month it would compensate time to back up. No, it would just do it once. It would back up this particular time when I close it, but it won't. Next time you would have turned off the automatic backing up. Well, that's what that is. You're manually coming in here and telling it to back it up once. In any case, I recommend you put it on every time Lightroom exits, and I'll show you what happens when you do that. Exactly, and this is the dialog that you get. Settings for the catalog Lightroom demo should indicate it should be backed up each time it is closed. Note, this only backs up the catalog file, not the photos referenced by it. And so this is the place where you can choose your backup folder, and you can change your backup folder. If your backup folder is in the same place as your catalog, what's the danger of that? You could lose everything. Yeah, I mean, if a disk goes bad, if it's stolen, if it's lost, if it corrupts, it's all going to be corrupted at the same time. So you should think about backing it up at least sometimes to a different spot. I recommend testing integrity and recommend optimizing. And if you don't want to do it, you click skip this time. This is not a very big catalog, and so I'm going to click back up, and you'll see It's checking the integrity. It's backing up the catalog, and it's closing it. Yes. It's probably going to the same folder as your catalog, which is what's happening right here. So we can come into this folder. You see now all I have is my Lightroom catalog. My previews, the previews are disposable. They've been made and they can be made again. So those are not precious. This is precious. This right here is precious. And your backups, you can see these are all the dates that I've done the backup, and this is the backup I just made. They're currently going to the same place as your catalog, right? No, I wouldn't move it. I would just click and make one at a different place. The next time you exit, don't move your backup. It doesn't. It won't be taking any. It's taking space. You can throw it away. Eventually, you can throw your backups away. That's no problem. Yeah. Once you don't need them anymore, you can definitely throw your backups away. And this is the dialog I get because I have it to ask me what to do. Okay, we're going to start talking about collections. So is there any more questions about backups or any concerns here or online? Hi. 10 o'clock. Okay. Let's talk about collections. How many people have experimented with collections? Okay, we have a few. Pretty amazing stuff, isn't it? I mean, what you can do with collections, it's another filter to see your pictures through. It's another way to organize your pictures and to work with your pictures. So you can see here that I'm in this little dial. This is the little piece of the panels. And collections are down between folders and publishing services. And these are regular collections. This is a little icon you see. This is a smart collection. And we'll see how we go. I'm definitely going to talk about regular collections. We can go to smart collections maybe later. Okay, so there is a little movie on how to make a standard collection for those of you that would like to watch it separately. But right now, live and in person, I will make a collection, a regular collection for you. So let's get collections opened. Going to come. I don't want to put it here. Okay, I'm set to make a collection. I'm going to go up to library, and you'll see I have a choice of a new collection, a smart collection, a new collection set, or a new folder. We're just going to deal with a new collection right now. I'm going to choose a new collection. I'm going to call it My Nifty New Collection. And I'm actually going to unclick. I'm going to unclick Include Selected Photos. So I'm just going to make this collection and put it at the top level. Create. So now you can see right here, My Nifty New Collection is there with no pictures in it. I have no pictures in that collection. It's just a place ready for pictures to go into. So I'm going to choose this picture and drop that in there. I'm going to pick some random. Oh, it's so hard to pick random pictures, isn't it? I want to pick good pictures, pictures that you guys want to see. Pick this one. Anybody see what I'm doing? I'm picking it up and dragging it, clicking, and where you click does make a difference. So sorry. And I'm going to pick this one. My nifty new collection. My nifty new collection. All right. Picking a few more just so we have them. So I can just go through my collection of photographs. Come up. Take a picture of my nephew. Okay, so I've made it with 5 different pictures. They're from 5 very different places. In fact, if we go to the metadata and I look at what cameras these are taken with, they're taken with 3 different cameras, 2 iPhones and 1 Nikon D800. The idea that, actually shouldn't be true, that's a D800. Anyway, so now I have this collection. I can drop and drag pictures into it. That's how this collection works. Let's do a regular collection a different way. I'm going to go back to my folders, and I'm going to choose my Golden Gate Park pictures. These are for a book project I'm working on that I shared with you before. And I'm going to click, and then I'm going to Command or Control click on a few of my favorites of these pictures. So I've chosen 2, 3, 4. So I've chosen 4 pictures. Can you see there's 4 pictures chosen? Or 5? It tells me right here. I have 5 chosen. 5 chosen. Now I'm going to go up here and I'm going to go Library, New Collection, and I'm going to call this Golden Gate Park Edit. And instead of, I'm going to leave top level, but instead of leaving this blank, I'm going to click Include Selected Photos, but I'm not going to make virtual copies. So in this case, I will make a collection. It will automatically populate with my chosen pictures because I said Include Selected Photos. But it will not make extra copies of them. I could choose to make extra copies. So say I knew that I was going to take these 5 pictures, and all 5 of them I was going to make sepia tones. So I could make virtual copies then, and that would not affect the original photographs. But I'm just going to take these 5 pictures in. Let's try that afterwards, but let's get this one made first. So there was a question, but I'll get to it in a second. No, it's taking the references. Your pictures are not moving. That's a really good question. Your pictures are not moving at all. So you can see my Golden Gate Park edit has 5 pictures in it. I chose the 5. When I made the collection, I told it to include my selected pictures, and it automatically included them. It doesn't move them. So right now, if I come here, this picture, I go Control, it's going to show, it's in a folder, and it will show me that it's in that collection. So it's references. These are like these are references to the pictures. They're not the pictures. Exactly. It's like having 2 cards, a card tab under subject and author, that you can find both of them. Right. So you can make quick collections. So the example is that you have people, you want to show them some pictures, so you're going to just borrow it. You're going to make a collection of a few pictures. and just use those few pictures for a slideshow or for a quick website or whatever, or to output for printing something. So collections can be used in lots of different ways. So now that I have this collection called Golden Gate Park Edit with 5 pictures, if I want to put more in, it's perfectly easy to put more in. So here's my Golden Gate Park Edit. I can take this one and drop it in. And you can see the number went up to 6. I can take this one and drop it in, and the number will go up, we hope, to 7. Yeah. I don't tend to work off of here, but you can work off the film script. I tend to work off of here. I guess if you were in loop, yeah, it goes, you can. Okay, so that's a regular collection. Things you can do in a regular collection. This is important. In my regular collection, I can say, oh gosh, this is a slideshow. Well, let's start with the gate, right? Let me make these a little bigger so you can actually see what I'm doing. I want to start with the gate. And then I think this tree should be last. So I can actually, and we're going to put the lion after the gate. So I can sort in a regular collection. I can make them any order I want. And you'll see right here, these are my sort choices for what's on the screen. I can do all kinds of different sort choices. Capture time, added order, edit time, edit count, rating, pick, label, color, file name, etc., etc. So when I drag and drop it, it'll be user order. As soon as once I do it, yeah, it does it automatically. So like right now, it's capture time. And then I hold it down and I go to rating. I don't know if that will make a difference. It will. And I go to user order. And let me go back to the order I chose. So that's a plus of a standard collection. I can drop and drag it and change its order. Standard collections can be made, as you see, relatively easily. It's one of the real keys of the way you'll work in Lightroom. And there's a movie to review it yet again. Okay. Is there a way to get the pictures into the collection without dragging? You don't like dragging? Mouse pod's being covered with other things don't count. You can remove it from the collection here. Oh, that's the other thing I should say. Okay, go to the collection. There's always another way, but I'm not going to tell you now. Okay. I'm going to make you wait. Yeah. I want to stay on track because there's a lot of. I want the basics to get in. You got 2 ways now to get them in. I'm going to have to take a deep breath. Oh, how to order them? Right there on the toolbar. This is my toolbar. I'm taking a side trip anyway. You can see grid, loop, compare, survey, spray painter, which I'll talk about another day. You can see the order here. You can see your stars, your colors, and your rotation. But you can customize this like everything else to be anything you want, more or less. So if you can't see something, it may be that you accidentally or customize it to make something go away. So that's on the toolbar. It's little tab. Look for little tabby things. Things will happen. The other thing you can do from a standard collection is that you can delete. So as I'm looking through these, and I go, ooh, oh, like this. Okay, good. Oh, I'm not sure. Oh, okay. There's my pictures. Okay, so I can come back here and I can say, I don't think I want this one in the collection anymore. So I can hit my delete key and it will go away. Out of the collection. It is not out of the catalog. I didn't affect the file on the hard drive. So collections are very permeable and flexible. In Lightroom, I also have undo, Command Z, and it brings that back. So Command Z, undo, works in this case. If I had gone to the picture in the library, and then so now I'm in my folder. I'm not in a collection, and I hit delete. What's going to happen? I'm going to get my warning. And here I'm actually doing something significant. Putting things in and out of collections, it's like shuffling cards. You know, it's not a big deal. But here, I could be deleting the picture from the hard drive if I don't pay attention to my step-by-step. Remove means it will just remove the reference from the Lightroom catalog, but it will leave the picture on the hard drive. When I chose the picture, see this picture's chosen, and I just hit my delete key on mine in the library. But I'm in the folder, the actual folder, rather than in a collection. Well, yeah, I think it works in Move for you too. I thought you could see it better in the grid view. So I can delete it from the disk, which means it will put that picture in the trash can, or I can just remove it from Lightroom. So say that you had some snapshots of family in a Lightroom catalog that you were going to show to a client for a job. You might just remove them from your Lightroom catalog. You don't want to delete them from the disk. You still want your snapshots. You just don't want them represented in this catalog. That would be a case to just do remove, which is the default. Okay, that is a standard catalog. What are the main features of a standard catalog? How do you get pictures in there? Drag and drop, or, sorry? So you can have it chosen and create a new catalog and they'll automatically be put in. So that's the two easy ways to get pictures into a catalog. And the features, one feature is that you can delete from the catalog, from a standard catalog by hitting a delete key, put things in, take things out, like shuffling cards. You can reorder a standard catalog. So you can give it in any order you want for a slideshow, for a website, for sharing with people. Okay. I jam a lot in. Stay calm. It'll all make sense. Yes? Okay. When the question is, how do you sort pictures if you're going to put them on the web for sizing and everything? That's automated in Lightroom. So when we get to the output modules, then we'll look at how you would size your picture, how you would give directions to Lightroom to size and order your pictures. So it's down the line. Next thing I'm going to think about is rating your photos in Lightroom. There is a number of ways to rate your photos. You can flag, and it's flagged, delete, or unflagged. You can star, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 stars. And you can use colors. This is a very flexible tool. There's very many different things that can happen by doing this. And you have to think about how you want to do it and how you want to use it. So I have a really excellent video here from Juliana Cost. It's 23 minutes long on how to select, rate, and prioritize your images. I'm going to recommend that you watch it on your own. That link is in Module 2. What I'm going to do right now is the most important quick pieces of that video, but then you can watch the video to reinforce the learning and to go deeper in the information. So going back to Lightroom. So you'll notice in this catalog, there's some duplicates, but that's okay. I have a number of different things that I've done. Let me go back to my view options. I like seeing it. To select these images, I have stars and I have colors. I don't tend to use flags, but I'll show you how to use them if that is your preference. So you'll see in flags, come on, my computer's not cooperating. You have flagged, unflagged, rejected. You can toggle the flag with an apostrophe, and you can use a control or command, arrow up and arrow down to change the flag status. So we're going to choose this picture, and I'm going to hit a P, and you say pick as flag. I can't see it, so it doesn't really matter. Let's do great and go B. So now you can see the flag right here. If I command up arrow, a down arrow, it decreases the status. Down arrow, again, it set it as rejected. So P is pick, U is unpick, X is reject. If it's rejected, look what happens. So you could go through a folder and just hit X's on everything you wanted to throw away, and then you can throw them away. You could hit P's on everything you really want to pick, and the things you can't decide you could leave as U. I don't throw much, I don't like to throw things away. And I'll say for a couple of reasons. There's a lot of power that you may not yet know you have in terms of Photoshop, in terms of new processes. I had a picture where there was something in it that was in the way, and I was able to pick up a piece from another picture to extend the file and make a nice picture. So you might need those as raw material for something. I do it too much. I need to start. I'm turning over a new leaf. I'm going to delete things any second now. But until that happens, until I run out of hard drives, I don't use flags because it really is a keep, throw away proposition. It's the idea of flags. Yeah. No, flags are just pick, reject, or undo. Okay, let's hold that question. I may get to it in a way, and you may be thinking of keywords, which we'll talk about later too. Okay. Okay. All right. So right now we have pick, not pick, or reject. Not my preference, but that's okay. Don't do that. So this one no longer has a flag. Okay, so now there's no flag and there's no color. We do have stars. You can give things stars by hitting 1 star, putting a number 1. Oh, that's why I'm not looking at the right file. Okay, let's make this active. 1 star, right? Rating to 1. If I hit a 2, it now has 2 stars. And I can just go up and hit 3, 4, and 5 stars. How do we use this? This is kind of a challenge. So you can think about what's going to work best for you. I'm going to share how I use stars. You may find a little bit different set that works for you. When I download a card, I will go to the grid and I'll make the pictures maybe this big, maybe around this big, enough to see and enough to go through really fast. Then I'll use my arrow key, and anything that has any interest I give it to. So I just go through rapid fire, looking at the pictures, and anything I want to use, I give it to. Then I will only look at the number 2. And any picture that maybe is blurry or I'll give I can hit a 1 and it will go away. And if I really like it, I can hit a 3. The next group. So basically, I slowly work the pictures up to higher star rating. Because of who I am, I very rarely have pictures that have 5 stars. My pictures either have 2, 3, or 4 stars that I work on. Once in a while, you'll catch me with a few 5 stars, but yeah, I mean, things that didn't get picked in that first run would have no stars. They could be like rejects, except I don't throw them away in case I need them later on for a collage, for a repair. And also one of the things I think, and this is something for you guys to think about, to not throw away things too quickly, because I want to learn from my pictures. So when I go to my catalog and I say, how many pictures did I take with my 80 to 200, and do I really want to carry it on this next trip? Well, I can just click on metadata and find out how often I use that picture. Well, how many of those pictures were 3-star pictures? I can immediately see what percentage of my 80 to 200, which is a way heavy lens, was used on this particular trip in this particular kind of shooting situation. So it can, so I like to learn from my information in my catalog. So I tend to keep things for that reason also. So I'm really not happy with the shoot. What did I do wrong? And I can go through the ones that didn't work and say, should have gotten closer. I should have had a higher shutter speed. I should have. And that, hopefully that means I will next time. We hope. Okay. The next thing is color, which is a little harder to see. But colors, I have 6 is red. 7 is yellow. 8 is green. 9 is blue. And if you want purple, you got to pick it. You don't get to, it's, I don't know. They don't like purple for some reason. They run out of numbers, I guess. I don't know. Okay, colors. You can change the colors, but you can't have multiple colors. You can only have one color on a picture. So if a picture is blue, it is blue. No, you cannot change. No, you can't change the colors. 0 makes it no stars. Click on it in the little button here. Yeah, or you can go up to photo, set color, label purple, or none. So colors are toggles. That's more what I want to see. So this is a green picture, right? And if I hit the green again, it turns off the green. On, off. On, off. Stars are not toggles. If I accidentally look at this picture and say, oh, I really want it to be a 3, it's not a toggle. It will stay 3. So they're different tools, if that matters. Sorry? Right. No, you can have 3. This picture can be 3 stars and green. And pick. Green is number. What's green? Green is number 8. No. 1 to 5 is stars. 6 to 9 is colors. 1 to 5 is stars. 6 to 9 is colors. something, you can use, if you're going through a whole folder of pictures, right? So here's a picture. Don't want that one, so I'm not going to. Go. So I'm going to give this 1 star. And what you see that happened? I'm here, I hit 1 star. You see how it auto advanced? I hit a green label, it auto advances. So in photo, under the different settings, under set flag, rating, color label, I also have the auto advance. So if you had a lot of pictures, as soon as you hit a rating, it would jump to the next picture. It drives me crazy. I use my arrows, but other people like it. So. Yes, it works for all of the ratings, stars, flags, and colors. Okay. Question, take a deep breath. I've been talking for a long time. Okay, you guys should take a deep breath because I've been talking for a long time. Any questions? Okay. Well, colors they all go together. Oh, in my practice, I use numbers to rate my pictures. And so I give it 2, and then I give it 3, and then it goes up to 4 and sometimes 5. Colors I'll use for other projects. So say that there's 2 ways, big ways I use colors. One way is if I want to show my catalog to my husband who's also a photographer. I'll say, okay, go through there, and anything you're interested in, hit a 9. So he will give them all a color. I can't use colors for anything else if I'm going to do that, because of course it can only have 1 color. So if he's reviewing my catalog, I'll say, review this folder of pictures and give everything you like a 9. Now I can look and see what I gave 3 stars and what he gave a color to. The other way I use it is sort of quick going through. So I already have my star system, my rating from top to bottom. But say I'm trying to pick ones that I want to put in a slideshow. So I'll just go through and give them a color, or give them, first, so they're definitely in the slideshow might be a red, and they might be in the slideshow. In your book, I know they have other suggestions of how you might use the colors for done or not done, and stop or not stop. And in the book, he does tell you how to change what the colors, it gives the colors a meaning, but I don't use that, so I'm not going to do it right now. Yeah. Because, I mean, it's like, so I'm working on a whole folder. I want to see the whole folder. So in this case, let's say I want to do a slideshow of Germany. I'm going to say select all and do no color. So now I'll have no colors. None. So I'm just going to go through, select 1. Not worthy, not worthy, not worthy, not worthy, not worthy, not worthy. Okay, I like this one. I'm going to give it a 6. I might use that one. I'm going to give it a 7. Okay, so now I've chosen some. I come up to attribute, and I can choose red and yellow. So now I can look at all the ones I did either red or yellow and decide which one I'm going to use. And then what do I, so I mean, it's a good question. So I say, okay, I do want this one, so that's going to go up to red. Okay, then I unchoose the yellow, so now I only have the red ones. I choose all, right? So I choose all of them. Let me do that one more time in the side. So I have my reds and my yellows. I check them out and say, okay, these are I want the red ones in the slideshow. Choose red, unchoose yellow, select all, make a new collection. So I want to be able to see, once you make a collection, you can't see the stuff that's not in the collection, right? You could just drag and drop. Yes, you can. Not across catalogs, across folders. Well, when you say a catalog is all of your pictures. So collections, across collections, across folders. So I can go to all of my pictures. I can go to my catalog and go to all my 6,000 photographs. I've somehow gotten into this very small catalog I'm doing for demos. That's great. And I can choose my red and my yellow in all my pictures, right? So that's across all my folders. I do keep everything in one catalog. And that's one of the reasons, is to be able to access many different things. So so you would give one of them to do stars and one of them to do colors. I guess if you were going to set them down at it, you would go back to that view options thing, and you could turn off all of these. Yeah, I mean, so you could turn them all off, and that would, right. Yeah, so if you just kept turning stuff off, or if you showed them the compact. So if you show them compact, they won't see any of the ratings. I mean, no, they won't. I'm going to have to think about this. Yeah, okay. We're gonna put this in the discussion area for how you're really talking about drilling down deeper than right now. We're getting an overview. We want to know how to use the tool. How you might do something like that, we can problem solve that. There's ways to do anything. What is the best way that won't affect other data? That is, makes it simple and fun and all that. So, okay. Yes. Okay. Back. Right. Well, stars can be, well, they can be greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, or exactly equal to. So only things that actually have one star, I have to get back to 9. Is either only things that have just 1 star, things that just have 2 stars, things that just have 3 stars, things that just have 4 stars, things that just have 5 stars, or 1 star or greater, or now we can do 2 stars or greater, and so on. So you can choose in that. And you can even choose master photos, virtual copies, or videos. I mean, you can drill this out. So that's why when you guys start asking, about these really specific problem solving, that we want to do in either on the lab day for the on-campus people or online for the online people, because we can go in like a billion directions with this. I mean, there's just like so many little pieces that you can fine-tune and personalize your Lightroom with. Not right now. Okay, where are we? Seeing in Light assignment, we're working on that. And this one, as you know, I use Lightroom to download my file, sort, choose, make a slideshow, and convert the slideshow to a movie. So this is a sample of your assignment for this week. Those of you coming to the on-campus class, what I would say is on Thursday, if you haven't already made your slideshow, bring your files and we'll do it together step by step. So all you have to have done is to have shot your pictures. If you've already done it, you can bring a different slideshow just so you can follow through step by step and I can talk you through and we can fine-tune better how you make a slideshow. For those of you working online, you'll be working on this and get this posted. If you have any questions about making a slideshow, you can post those and you can see this changing. So if we go to etudes right now. I hope. And we go to our class. And go to the discussion area. You can see a couple more movies in there under the time and light. I gave some more examples. I thought this one was really fun because it's so fast. You can see a little bit of movement on camera. So notice the changing of the colors of light. Yeah, yeah. And then this one, the gazing ball was another really interesting one. So I invite you to go and look at those. And if you have any questions about that. Okay, that's the Lightroom portion. I do want to talk about sketching to see. We're going to talk about that after a short break. And I want to thank the people who are online and invite you to look at sketching to see on your own. And we'll take 7 minutes. You get 7-minute break, and we'll come back and I'll do our last slideshow and then take questions from the on-campus people. If you're online, does anyone online have questions? Okay, thank you everybody. 7 minutes. Hi, Rita. So let me close this up first and then